those nerds out there.
But Thomas Bryant's jockstrap, get him out of here.
How does that not indicate to you, like, hey, sometimes, like, these prospects are awesome?
Donald, get back. They snatched that chain, boy. Get back. What's all going to do about it? Popeye snatched that chain. Get back. We want that snack wrap. They got 3 flavors. Y'all got 1. Get back.
Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Big Factor. It's a beautiful Election Day Tuesday, fellas, and we got a good crew for you today. Nick Pedone at the Pedone Estate. We got Jack O'Rourke over here. Rob Watson, guys. Rob, you were just talking about you went to the Marble Room the other day?
Yeah, a little birthday dinner last night. Marble Room, great steak. Just great food. Had a nice night, nice ambiance.
Jeez, just starting the show out with a free plug, huh?
Yeah.
I would love that
Don't pay us
sponsor if we could
anything.
figure that one out, Nick.
Nick, how you doing over there?
Jeez, good. I'm good. NFL trade deadline day, so decided to hang out in the Bat Cave. We've got a lot of meetings today as well, so was easier for me to stay here than to transport to you guys.
Jack?
Yeah, I'm excited. You know, today's a great day early on. Sun's back out. It went away for a couple of days. You informed me that we got some United States women's hockey going on against Canada on Thursday, Pat. So maybe we'll have to slide to that for a little international, not even unfriendly, I think we got to call it. So
yeah,
that's my big update of the morning.
Yep. PFF grade already going down.
Yeah, PFF grade with I believe it's +2 for every good block,
Yikes.
+1 for an okay block, -1 for missed assignment, -2 if it gets to the quarterback. I think
No,
it's just
Jack, that's
-1.
the trench report.
That's trench report.
Oh, that's trench. My bad. I confused him.
Shout out
Trey,
to
I'm
guys.
not trying to steal your bet.
Shout out to our guys on the Pittsburgh show. We'll see that later
Snap
today.
count.
But we got a lot to talk about with our Cleveland Browns, talking about the AFC North, guys. Your boy, Jack, Tommy Rees, he's got the sticks now. They're giving him play calling. They're giving him the play calling abilities for the Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski, for the second year in a row, as you tweeted yesterday, Nick. It's not a good look for the Browns. Second year in a row, Kevin Stefanski's passing off the play calling abilities.
Yeah, not a good look. I mean, like, what's it say about your offensive-minded head coach? Kevin Stefanski's strength as a head coach, the reason why he got the job in Cleveland was because of the work that he did as a play caller during his time with the Vikings. So it's a bad look any way that you spin this. And you know, you hope as a Browns fan, of course, that things look better under Tommy Rees, but to use their own words against them, I haven't really seen one data point that leads me to believe that this offense is fixable. Maybe you could fix some things with the rhythm and when they're calling what, but I am kind of, at least personally, expecting it to be more of the same with Tommy Rees on the sticks. And this just absolutely reeks of desperation.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Jack, there's no one more that I know who's more of a hater than Tommy Rees than yourself. Honestly, do you think he'll even last into next year with play calling abilities? Where do you see this going for the Browns?
No, I don't. To be honest, I mean, I'm not gonna. I haven't seen Tommy Rees call play out for the Browns, so I'm not gonna come out here and say that he's gonna be horrible and it's doom and gloom. Like, the guy deserves a fair chance, just like any guy who's thrown into that slot, right? But from what I've seen with a lot of Tommy Rees football, and hey, there's been some good of Tommy Rees football, right? Jalen Milroe's best year in college came with Tommy Rees as his offensive coordinator, but his overall returns from Notre Dame were not astounding. You know, a lot of former players have come out, not necessarily against Tommy Rees in the past, but felt that they were underutilized, especially receivers at Notre Dame. Like, the ball never got out to the boundaries once in the 3 years that Tommy Rees was the offensive coordinator. I would say
Jack,
if you're looking,
Jack, like, that's what he needs to do here. Yeah. Like, that's part of what's broken in Cleveland.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen. The ball never went downfield at Notre Dame. The best outside receiving threat was Ben Skoranek, who is a okay number 5 receiver for the Steelers right now. Like, if you're looking for guys that are going to be stock up, I think, with the Tommy Rees offense. Like, Tommy Rees loves getting the ball out quick. Like, I think Kyron Williams played his best football at Notre Dame. Like, once he became like a pass catching versatile option versus like just like running in between the gaps kind of. So, like, I think you're going to get a lot more of like maybe Judkins as a pass catcher. Like, maybe if you start to see Dylan Sampson hop back in the game, you're going to see him. But the biggest thing with Tommy Rees is always using his tight ends. Tommy Rees loves to abuse throwing the ball to his tight ends. So, hey, that leads me to think maybe you're not going to see Njoku go today. That leads me to think that, hey, Harold Fannin Jr. might continue to be a big part of this offense. But, like, if you look at Brock Wright, Tommy Tremble, Michael Mayer, like all the great Notre Dame tight ends that went on to play in the NFL, like those were all through a Tommy Rees offense where you were seeing the ball not just up the seam, but like on quick drag routes similar to what we're seeing here in Cleveland. Like, My biggest thing that I'm curious about, though, is Tommy Rees is very different from Kevin Stefanski. Like, Kevin is I'm not going to call out the players. Things are going to be light. I'm not going to get too high. I'm not going to get too low. He's a player's coach in that way, if that makes sense. Tommy Rees, his emotions are on his sleeve. He will show it constantly. There's the famous video of him at Notre Dame crushing the phone into the ground, screaming, "Do your bleeping job" at quarterback Drew Pine. Like Tommy Rees is a very emotional coordinator, which is why some people think that it wasn't going to ultimately work out with Nick Saban and why he chose to leave Notre Dame with Marcus Freeman's staff.
Yeah, Rob, does this offer any hope for you?
What do we think in terms of what this means for the Browns? Like, because I've seen both sides of this argument. Does this mean that, okay, Kevin Stefanski's given up play calling? You would think as an offensive coach, as a guy that was known for his play calling, if you truly were on the hot seat, you're going to go down with the ship. But there's also the argument that maybe he was forced to give up play calling. I personally think that this is very different this time because he's giving up play calling. This is Kevin's offense. Like, that's what we spent all offseason talking about, was that we were going to get back to Kevin Stefanski's offense, and now he's giving it up to somebody else. Like, I think this is very different than when he gave the offense to Ken Dorsey last year. And I really don't think it's a good thing.
I just saw a quote from Joe Greco, former Browns guard, on Twitter saying this is the last move before they start firing people. I think this reeks of desperation. It's not anywhere close to the same thing last year where it was just, it was slop. We thought Deshaun was going to be a guy. We thought we had something that was going to be good, and then we just gave up on it halfway through. This is not the same 2 years in a row, back-to-back, your offense being putrid. God forbid Tommy Rees actually comes out here and somehow puts together a 20-point game that doesn't require a defensive touchdown, and all of a sudden people are going to be looking at Kevin Stefanski sideways. I don't know if that'll be the case. I look for Tommy Rees probably. Let me take my chance to dunk on Notre Dame here. Not a lot of offensive talent over there, so maybe he could utilize that better like he actually did at Alabama when he had true threats with actual speed and athleticism on his offense. Looking for him to probably try to get the ball to Isaiah Bond more. He was at Bama at the time when Tommy Rees was the OC, but I'm not expecting much, but I think this could spell very bad things for Stefanski.
Yeah, like at what needs to happen for this to be a good decision for Kevin Stefanski? Like, I guess if you're winning games, winning cures everything, and then maybe Tommy Rees, is back next year as the offensive coordinator and everything's kumbaya. But Rob, you're right. Like, if the offense immediately looks better, everybody's going to look to Kevin Stefanski and be like, well, you just wasted our time for 8 weeks, 9 weeks. Like, I just don't understand why this was the right move now. I get that they had to change something. That's why this happened. You're 2-6. You've already changed quarterbacks. Kevin himself didn't get fired, so you're not going to just quit in the middle of the football season. So they had to change something. You change coordinator now. I just don't see how this ends up being a net positive for Kevin unless you rattle off a ton of wins and everything's fixed and Tommy Rees is back as your coordinator next year. But even then, if you win a bunch of games and the offense looks so much better, couldn't you see the Titans just being like, hey, we found our next wonder kid and Tommy Rees is a head coach, and then we're stuck with Kevin Stefanski calling plays again next year?
Yeah, because then next year, like, what are you going to do? Play it off again and give somebody else play calling ability? So it doesn't really matter who's in the building for the Browns. It doesn't seem like they're able to get anything going offensively. I don't really think Tommy Rees will be the guy to be able to do it for the Browns. If you look at that offense that you were talking about at Bama, guys, with Jalen Milroe, he did a lot of quarterback runs. That was basically the most running that Jalen Milroe ever basically did at Alabama. Deep throwing when you got Ryan Williams, yeah, it'll work for you, but this is not necessarily the same NFL offense that we're looking for with the Browns. And do you think they can do kind of what they did last year with Ken Dorsey being able to have at least one game where they had that game with Jameis Winston against the Broncos? I don't know that I see any hope here for the Browns trying to get the offense moving.
Yeah, Pat, I was going to say, too, looking at his body of work.
Winston and Dylan Gabriel couldn't be bigger polar opposites.
But when we put in 12, we're going to start pushing the ball down the field, bro. This is all in line. Man. Kevin doesn't want to call the plays for Shedeur. It's all working up. He's about to be in the game in a couple weeks.
He's never had a good offense when he didn't have a mobile quarterback that could throw the ball, though. That's the thing that kind of scares me. Like, every time he had a pocket pass through, those offenses did not look good at Notre Dame or Alabama.
Shedeur wants to roll out a little bit, though. It might work. I'm looking at the Alabama team. Everyone's averaging over 10 yards a reception.
That's good.
This all I don't know. This doesn't factor in Yak, but the best receiver was averaging 20.5 yards per reception. So it's looking like he wants to push it down the field. when he actually has athletic receivers, not Ben Skoranek and whoever we were talking about.
Man, Ben Skoranek, that's a tough pull. But guys, we got a lot more to talk about with the Browns. The NFL trade deadline is coming up. It is just about 28 hours away as we sit here. Yeah, actually, it's today. I lied. So it's the trade deadline is today, November 4th. As we sit here, we'll see if the Browns make any moves. There were some weird tweets that we'll get into from Mike Hall, but first I got to tell you about our friends over at Garage Beer. We want to thank our friends over at Garage Beer. You can pick it up at any retailer, any around that they sell with your classic light lager and your lime flavors. No frills, no bitterness, just that great beer-flavored beer that we love always, guys. So go pick up yourself some Garage Beer at drinkgaragebeer.com. And guys, we'll get into some NFL trade deadline talk coming up here next on The Big Factor.
Wrong.
Welcome back into The Big Factor, guys. We're talking Tommy Rees in between the breaks here, guys. It's NFL trade deadline day. We'll see what comes down. I honestly couldn't even tell you what day it is at this point, but trade deadline is only a couple hours away. We've had a few moves in the NFL. We had Jalen Phillips traded. Was that Monday or Sunday at this point? But Draymond Jones, Cleveland area native, St. Ignatius graduate, just got traded from the Titans to the Ravens. And we've got a few more. We had Mike Hall speculation. Logan Wilson from the Bengals traded to the Cowboys. Guys, where do you want to dive in with this?
So is that Jerry's big trade, Logan Wilson?
I think so. He had some cryptic,
Okay,
stuff,
Jerry,
right?
thanks.
Yeah, Jerry was saying
Great
that there's
job.
going to be some stuff that would like completely change what the defense is. They're not really one player away. But Jerry Jones the other day was saying that like they have a trade imminently going down that'll change what the defense looks like for the Cowboys. If Logan Wilson is the guy, then I don't know what we're doing here.
Logan Wilson for a 7th round pick,
Yeah,
by the way.
for a
Like,
7th.
that was the big trade that was teased for over 12 hours. I
that the
don't
answer
think
to
that's
Micah?
what it was.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to pull off probably like a Trey Hendrickson or potentially a Bradley Chubb
Max Crosby
type deal for
buzzer.
Dallas. But it would be hilarious if that was the only thing that the Cowboys did after he literally made us wait all night last night, watch his team absolutely get annihilated by Jacoby Brissett
Horrible.
in prime time, and then the only thing you do is Logan Wilson for a 7th round pick. That would be poetically Jerry.
Yeah, and the funny thing too is like we talked about it in the draft time where the Browns, Carson Schlesinger, his draft similarity was Logan Wilson. So if you got Carson Schlesinger on the Browns, you can keep somebody like that, and the Bengals are trading him away to the Cowboys. But in the AFC North, we talked about Draymond Jones, Jack and Ignatius guy ourselves. You got the hat on today, but
Oh yeah,
we got a pass
interviewed
rusher.
him back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, 2015, I want to say something like that. But pass rusher coming to the Ravens. They desperately need help on that defensive side. Rob, I don't know if this changes anything for you, but they also traded away. They've made a lot of moves on that defensive side. So I don't know if Draymond Jones can help these Ravens.
Ravens are the defense is going to be bad.
Yeah.
All Lamar, and then a little more Lamar. But they'll probably win the AFC North. But Draymond Jones isn't going to be the guy that gets it done. It'll be Mr. Number 8, probably winning another MVP and throwing like 100 touchdowns while missing 4 games. Something calm.
Good for Draymond though. I think things didn't quite work out the way he was hoping for when he went to free agency, went to Seattle after his time in Denver, and I think he had one of his better NFL games on Sunday. So nice to go to a better franchise, even if they're not in the best spot right now.
Yeah, and you talk about Mike Hall. We had the Browns drama, guys. Nick, if you want to get into this one, some cryptic tweets from Mike Hall last night saying trade ... like the classic ellipses on the tweet, but nothing has come to fruition just yet. I don't know if the Browns will make any moves, but do you see Mike Hall getting moved, if
Is he
anything?
engagement farming?
Well, I know the Browns probably want to punch Mike Hall right in his face because Andrew Berry likes
reverse card
working.
there.
Andrew Berry likes working in silence.
Yeah,
like Andrew Berry hates leaks. Like every GM that Andrew Berry works with, he like pretty much makes swear to secrecy. Like that Jacksonville Travis Hunter trade was done months before the draft, and nobody even heard a peep about it until the 20 minutes before the draft. So like the fact that you've got a starting defensive tackle tweeting trade ... whether he knows something or he doesn't, Andrew's probably like, hey, you're making my life pretty difficult here. I don't like this stuff getting out because now here we are speculating on what's going on. I don't think Mike Hall Jr. is getting traded. He's only played in one game this year. He didn't even record a statistic. So unless you're really concerned about the off the field stuff, like I don't think you're giving up on the Mike Hall thing right now. However, I do definitely think that the defensive line has some trade candidates as we go through today. I wouldn't be surprised to see Shelby Harris get moved. I believe Malik Collins is a guy that probably has a little bit more value than even a Shelby Harris. And as the Cowboys, are trying to get their defensive line bolstered, like those are two candidates potentially for Dallas. But like they're definitely probably working. I'm sure some of those guys, including Shelby Harris and potentially Malik Collins, have talked to their agents and they understand that the possibility of something like that can come down. But for Mike Hall to be tweeting trade ... and then deleting it a half hour later, like that's definitely not really helping anything actually materialize.
So I'm going to ask you guys a question that obviously nobody here knows the answer to. As I'm asking before I ask the question, what does he mean by that though? Like, do you tweet that if you think you're getting traded or if one of your teammates is getting traded? Like, where's the psychology on it even?
Yeah, I don't think there is any psychology. I think he probably realized that the trade deadline was tomorrow, and he tweeted out trade, and that's probably the extent of the story.
Bro. Like an idiot. What's the move? Are we making a move or not though? Do we bring in a receiver? This is what everyone wants to know. This is the big thing. Well, who's gonna be our big Elijah Moore pickup at the deadline? Who's gonna be the Jahan Dotsons, the Adonai Mitchells, the Marvin Mims, the Tyquan Thorntons? Like who's gonna be the wide receiver for on some
Who's
other
the guy
team?
from the Jaguars and the Darrell Revis said it?
Oh
man,
Walker something.
Mike Sims Walker.
Mike Sims Walker.
Who's gonna be the bargain bin guy that we bring in that gets no tick somewhere else, and we're gonna turn him into a wide receiver too? What are we doing?
Yeah, they're definitely trying. Andrew Berry is a very aggressive GM. Like, despite his flaws, the one thing that you have to give him is that he stays on the phone and he persists, especially for his guys that he wants in this organization. And if he gets a no, he'll pick up the phone and he will keep calling and he will keep trying. And they know this receiver group is really bad, and they know that they could probably use a guy to continue to develop Dylan Gabriel, I guess, and then eventually get a look at what Shedeur Sanders can do. So I would definitely look at receiver in terms of buying, offensive tackle in terms of buying. But again, we know what these moves are going to be. Interior offensive line for sure. A guy like Evan Neal from the New York Giants could get moved today, but we know what it's going to be. It's going to be smaller moves. You're not going to give up much more than a 5th round pick. Like they're not in the market to move top 50, top 100 picks, especially at the deadline, because there's no expectations. There's no pressure for them to do anything this year. They're 2-6. Their season's sunk. And like I told you guys weeks ago, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a sell to buy situation where you flip a guy like David Njoku potentially and you get a pick that then you could use this offseason on a young player. You trade, a defensive tackle to try to get a younger position player somewhere else. So keep an eye on that, because I definitely think they're still trying to get young players on this roster. And even if they can't do it, even if they just have to settle for draft picks today, they're not going to use 3 5th-round picks in April. Like they're going to look to trade those for those bargain bin guys, Rob, like what we've been talking about.
Unless you got a quarterback you want.
Just imagine the boys, they go out, they actually get a starting caliber tackle, and then they actually hit on a wide receiver trade. Tommy Rees actually proves he can call plays, and we throw Shedeur Sanders in, and we go and get to 9-8 to end the year, possibly sneak into a wild card, ruin all draft position, and then just get absolutely door stomped just by like the Chiefs in the wild card game. But that would be a fun season.
We'd call it a success if that was the season. But
I mean, I think we'd have like the happiest summer of all time if that happened.
Probably, right?
For sure.
It would, like, people would wear, it'd be like a utopian society where people would wear Shedeur Sanders jerseys everywhere.
It would
be like the national uniform.
That's what I'm saying. There's technically still
Wrist
room
up, baby.
to make something out of this season. I'm not saying playoffs, like that's a crazy jump, but
Playoffs.
You could find there's still one more quarterback that people say has a lot of talent. He's shown he's very accurate. Play him. Maybe we get a play caller that cooks up a little bit of something and shows that we could actually make something happen on this offense. That helps you turn the page off a coach that proved that he couldn't do anything with this offense. There's still a lot of stuff we can figure out with the rest of the year, but we got to we got to at least decide we're going to do it. You got to make
that
the
thing
move.
where the rookie quarterback wins the lot at the end of the year. I hope you don't hire the young OC again as the head coach. That's my only.
Keep him as OC.
Yeah, that's Jack's only request, guys. There was a couple of rumors, just drama that Myles Garrett would get traded. The Eagles were rumored for it with 3 first-round picks. They just traded for Jalen Phillips, so that one will be put to rest. I believe they traded a 3rd-round pick for Jalen Phillips to the Miami Dolphins. But where does that affect the Super Bowl odds for you guys? Do you think the Eagles out of the NFC are still up there in terms of favorites? Like, where do you guys stand in terms of what teams still need to make moves? Do you think the Eagles need to make more?
I think that's a really mid move for the Eagles. He'll work out there because of how they rotate and the way they kind of run the D-line by committee. Myles would have been really game breaking for them, but their offense is still, even though they had a good week the other week, they've been so on and off. But going into the bye they had a big game, but Saquon's a little banged up. AJ Brown's still waiting to just have that meltdown that every star receiver has. They're a couple losses away from things kind of breaking down over there, but I don't think Jalen Phillips is shifting the page too much for them.
I can't read the NFC at all. After watching the Packers-Panthers game, I just no longer know what is up, what is down, what is left from what is
crazy.
right. I know,
At home too.
Winning the division still? I don't know.
I don't.
Yeah. It feels like this year of all years too is one of those years where it's kind of wide open. The Chiefs-Bills had another showdown on Sunday night. I guess that was the late slate. It felt like Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, you had to. I mean, it was the dang clock change.
Yeah,
it wasn't night game.
But guys, we'll keep our eyes peeled out for more news and everything like that for the NFL trade deadline. But we've got more to get into. Jack, our guy Jose Ramirez. You can build around that guy. He's gonna be. I would say it's going to New York for the Heisman finalists, but he's in the top 3 for the AL. He's going to New York.
He's in the also Rams already, but
he's in the also Rams. Our guy Jose Ramirez in the running for AL MVP. We'll talk about that when we get back. Hey, everybody, welcome back into The Big Factor. Pat McGuire, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Bedell, and Rob Watson. Guys, we just talked about lots of NFL news, but there's some interesting Guardians news coming out. Jack, our guy, Jose Ramirez, the franchise cornerstone for your Cleveland Guardians, he's going to be in the AL MVP finalist consideration, along with Cal Raleigh and Aaron Judge. And as you said before, he'll be in the also-rans.
Yeah, he will be in the also-rans.
It is election day, so that's actually a great poll, Jack. I will say. It's election day today, so that's actually a great poll.
Yeah, thank you.
That's
I
really
did actually intentionally tie those two together. Wow, thank you. Yeah, I'll take my moment. But no, on a serious note, though, it's awesome that Jose, again, it seems like every single year he finishes in the top 5 at a minimum, and it shows you how much he does mean to this ball club. I don't know. I don't know, Jim. This is one of the years, almost any other year, I would argue you to the death that Jose could win, just because if you take him off of this ball club, what really are they? The Mariners have the great pitching, but they're not there without what the big dumper did this year. You looked at what the Yankees were like, and I believe it was late July and most of August when Aaron Judge was out. That ball club fell off the face of the earth. So yeah, it's not Jose's year to win it.
Yeah, so Rob, this is one of those.
Now he'll never get one. He's about to leave his prime.
Yeah, he's about to leave his prime.
Sorry.
So Rob, this feels like one of those years where it's another good Jose Ramirez year, but it kind of feels like one of those years where he finished 6th or 5th in MVP voting, but you have nothing really excited about for the Guardians. Do you think there's anything moving forward that Jose Ramirez can really do more for this Guardians team?
Fellas, I think it's cooked, bro. Go ahead and move on, turn the page, cash in on that if there's anything to cash in on. I'm not the biggest baseball guy, but it's time to go follow the youth movement. but do it a little bit better than we're doing it in Cleveland with the Browns. You could cash in and actually get some for Jose, unlike what we've done with Miles, unless he gets traded today.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if Jose gets traded with that contract that we got, Nick, but I really just don't think there's a whole lot exciting going into this next season unless the guards make some free agent moves that we've never seen before. Jack, I wouldn't hold my breath on that one. Nick, do you think anything will change moving forward for the Guardians?
It's a good question. I'm not really sure. You know, I think the way that this season ended, you probably have to look at making some small changes because you're so close. Like, that's the feeling that I can't shake, is that you're so close because of the starting pitching. And because now with Carl Willis coming back, like, you know, the starting pitching is going to be good again next year. You know, Jose Ramirez, even though I agree with you guys, like, he's leaving his prime, but he's still an MVP candidate. Like, if you just had a couple more bats, like, you would win this division easily. You would challenge pretty much anybody in the American League. Like, again, we're not asking you to be top 5 in payroll. Like, you don't have to be the Dodgers. You don't have to be the Blue Jays. We're asking you to be somewhere around the middle and to just inject a little bit of power and a little bit of pop into this batting lineup, and you'd be so close. So I want to think that this could potentially be the year where they do an Edwin Encarnacion type thing to get some semblance of offense in here. But like I said yesterday, like, when Bo Bichette hit that home run, my stomach sank, because that was the guy that I really thought you could potentially get for less expensive than what maybe some people thought. But then he delivers that moment in a Game 7 in the World Series,
playing through
that
injury,
probably goes out the window. So I you know, the realist in me says the whole thing is probably cooked, and you're going to be banking on Kafis and DeLauder and Bazana to give you some pop. But man, I would just love to see 1 or 2 more bats. Like, if you could get me a Josh Naylor plus somebody else, plus bring up Bazana and let him hit, and DeLauder and let him hit. Like, you're right there. I just don't know that they do that.
He's cooking. Imagine we get Naylor back. You got Manzardo, you keep Jose, you get a healthy season from DeLauder. And then you bring up Bazana, bro. That's a tough lineup. I'll
tell you what, that's the formula.
I'm not nearly as optimistic as you guys are about it. I think 2 to 3 bats for this team is a lot more like 4 to 5 bats away from being like a serious World Series contender. It's really tough. I mean, like, I love the starting pitching. What they did at the end of the year was awesome, but it's also what they did came when they were doing the 6-man rotation. Like, it's not sustainable to do that for a whole entire Major League Baseball season without making all of your bullpen arms just straight rubber bands by the end of the year. So, like, that's not going to happen. It's really tough to ask. Like, I love Gavin Williams. I still haven't seen Gavin Williams do it. Oscar to Charlie, right? Like, if he can do that this year and establish himself top of the rotation, like, that would be awesome. But, like, behind him, you still.
To Charlie?
That's like open to close. It's like, yeah, it's like, you never heard that before?
I've never heard this.
Okay, well, regardless, but like you're, I don't know, man. Like, you've never seen Cantillo do it for more than half a year. You've never seen Logan Allen do it for an extended period of time. You've never seen Slade Ciccone do it for an extended period of time. Like, it's really tough for you to bank on this. I am like a firm go get a starting pitcher. Well, here the other issue is too is we have 8 guys who are already set to be on the roster and they play 4 positions. Like, you can't really go out and get a first baseman or a DH because you already have Manzardo and Kafis and David Fry, who you're not getting rid of. Like, you can't really like Nick is correct totally. Like, if you could get an Encarnacion 30 home run bat for $20 million a year,
right-handed bat,
handshake me for Cody Bellinger tomorrow. But I just don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, guys, one of the different.
That's what's frustrating is that, like, unlike some other sports, like the Cavs discourse was tough this year because of the second apron. The Browns conversation is tough because they're in a rebuild. They're trying to move off this Deshaun thing. But like, what makes it so frustrating to talk guards right now is that it's abundantly clear to everybody what needs to happen, but you know that it's
what needs to happen, Nick? The 4 of us need to put in money together on a Powerball ticket, win it, and buy the franchise.
I like it.
Like, as long as the Dolans are up top, you're not going to see a World Series. You're not going to see the money spent to. The Dolans do some great things. That stadium is in tip-top shape. It looks brand spanking new, and it came out in '94, which is not exactly yesterday anymore. Like, they do a lot of great things in terms of keeping this team competitive, or at least like. They're just so good at like giving you just enough hope that you stick around. Like, that's all they are. Is like they keep you in that like. You never know, so you might as well be here. But no, it's never going to happen.
Yeah, the tough part for the Guardians this year, too, is they were 25th in payroll at $100 million. And I know that we were just talking about, is baseball broken? The Dodgers, They had obviously the top payroll, but the Blue Jays had 5th. So at a certain point, like bringing in those right-handed power bats that you want is going to get you more than the $100 million that the Guardians brought in with guys like Nolan Jones and all of these dudes because
Your boy
Nolan
It was
Jones.
a trade, and he cost $600,000. He didn't kill you.
Sure. But at the same time, like the Guardians are 25th in payroll for the 2025 season all told. And that's without getting anything from Shane Bieber as well, because he was $10-12 million, something along those lines.
I was still very sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Pat,
Yeah,
but
no.
nothing mind boggles me more on this planet than having your ace and taking him back on this 2-year team option contract, or sorry, it's a player option actually, and you rehab him for $12 million. And you trade him for like not a top 5 prospect.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, 'cause the
you
thing,
paid
too-
you paid $12 million for Cal Steven. I want to see him on opening day.
Yeah, pretty much too. Because the other thing about it
What
is
if he's him? What if he's Cy Young?
No, he better. He has to be for $12 million. Like
Cal Steven better be him.
that is like, well, here, take like when Vladdy signed as an international free agent, right? Like how much money was that? Like
man.
$6 million probably at 18 years old. You paid double that for Cal Steven, who went to Mississippi State for 5 years, wasn't great, and then had one good year in the minors and was hurt when you traded for him, and that's $12 million.
And I'll tell you what, too, Cal Steven really has to bank on Carl Willis being here for a longer period of time, too, because at a certain point, you'll get the spring trainings that you want, you'll get all that type of stuff. But in terms of development, you need to have a guy like Carl Willis around you if you want one of these top prospects, Cal Steven, to really take off like they have this year. I don't know how much longer Carl will be in the game. We just saw Brad Mills retire, who went over there to the Reds with Terry Francona. Some of those guys.
Oh, did Brad Mills retire?
Brad
I
Mills,
didn't
he
see that.
retired. Yeah, no, that's great because what a baseball lifer, but he went over there with Terry Francona. You got to hope Carl Willis can stick around a little bit longer for your Cleveland Guardians. Guys, that's all the Guards talk. It's the off season. We got a long way to go.
I'm enraged.
It's only been
Relax.
It's only been 1 month since they were playing in the AL wildcard game, a series against the Tigers, I should say. We got a long offseason to go, Jack. Unfortunately, we don't have much longer to go on the big factor, though. We'll take a quick break. Hey guys, welcome back into the Big Factor, everybody. We'll clap it up. We'll clap it up for
why
a
not,
Tuesday,
huh?
a little Tuesday clap. But guys, we just talked baseball, we just talked football. Let's flip it over to basketball, guys. We got a little bit more news from Clippers owner Steve Ballmer has been arrested.
Being sued by
Or not
the
arrested, I
Lorax.
should say. He's being sued, I should say. But you never know in terms of in the future. But there's 11 lawsuits filed against Clippers owner from former Aspiration owners, which I don't know if you remember this correctly, guys, but the Pablo Torre finds out podcast that he does all of his investigative journalism. He found out that there was, in conjunction with Kawhi Leonard and his team, there was all these fake, basically, contracts and no-show jobs that paid Kawhi Leonard extra money so that the Clippers could circumvent the salary cap in the NBA. We're seeing a lot more news come out about Steve Ballmer, guys. I don't know if it's great news for the association on the back of this gambling scandal as well.
It's so over for Steve Ballmer. And yeah, it's a bad look for the league, though I think this goes on a lot more than
Yeah,
people
that's
know.
what I was going to go
Yeah.
with.
But it is over for him, and it's sad that LA has just been like the retirement home for old and aging stars, and they've had Kawhi and they had the Paul George thing. Now it's Harden and all these guys they bring in. I think Brad Beal is a Clipper now. Like it's nasty.
is he?
They haven't got anything
Chris
out
Paul.
of this. They're gonna get caught cheating, even though I think there's a lot of cheating going on. But it's just bad. You would have hoped to win, but just a complete failure out there, and now he's going to pay the price for it.
The Clippers are just like, I don't think people talk about the Clippers enough as one of the worst organizations in the history of sports. Like just going back like all the way to the start, they've done absolutely nothing. Like there's arguably not a bigger black cloud on an ownership group of all time than Donald Sterling in his time with the Clippers, right? And then like Steve Ballmer takes over, like, oh, this guy's got energy, he's going to pump money in, they're going to I was gonna say build the wall, but I guess they did build the wall. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, I guess so.
And it just hasn't worked out for them. But it's happened in sports for forever. Like college athletes have been getting paid forever. Shocker. Yeah. In the sport of hockey, players take less money all the time to go play for the Maple Leafs, and then like they magically just get these like massive $3 and $4 million ad sponsorship deals when they're in Toronto that no one else gets in hockey. Like, and everyone just they don't even hide it. Like this stuff goes on everywhere.
Yeah, LeBron James had a Hummer in high school, so this stuff has been going on for a long time. And you look at contracts like Jalen Brunson too for the Knicks. Like he took well over, I think it was like $80 or $100 million under market value, basically to sign that extension with the Knicks. You never know what's going on under closed doors.
Got it in property value.
Made up somewhere. He's getting paid.
It's certainly getting paid up somewhere, sure. And all these people want to talk about too, Nick, as LeBron was back in the you're on this free agency and everything like that. People want to say all the time that he's got all this endorsement money, he's got all this money, blah 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 blah. You know what? Money is money, though. So, like, if you are really taking $100 million under fair market value like Jalen Brunson did, I'd be shocked if there wasn't more stuff coming back to you on the back end.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of so out of the loop on this Kawhi thing. I agree with Jack. Like, I definitely think that this is something that probably happens more than what we know. You know, the Hummer controversy was huge back in the day with Bronze. So it definitely is probably something that happens more. I wonder, like, as the league looks into it, like, is this something that the league could actually do something about, though? Like, can you put something, or is there already something, I'm not sure, that says that, like, in order for an endorsement deal to be real and to be tangible, like, the company has to actually exist? That would probably be a good baseline. Like, you probably have to do something for said company instead of just collecting checks from a blank company. Like, I think there are ways to make sure that, like, sketchy stuff like this doesn't happen, because who would stop an owner? Like what? Who's to say? Like, give me one of the richest people in the world, like a Bezos or a like an Elon Musk, were to buy a pro sports franchise, follow the cap space rules, but then do a baseball and then just give players incredible endorsement deals to pimp Tesla or to pimp Microsoft. Like, I could definitely see a world where something like that could potentially happen. So yeah, they should probably try to find a way to figure out what happened here and nip it while they're ahead.
They got enough on their hands with the gambling stuff.
Yeah.
That's
looking
real bad.
That's for sure. It's never.
There's not. Could they do anything to Kawhi over this?
I'm sure they could,
right?
but like, I don't think he'll get suspended or anything like that.
He could, like, no wrong.
Could he get hit with a RICO?
He could just say he was not in the loop and he was just collecting his checks.
All right.
I suppose so, but like at a certain point, he probably knew it was a no-show job. So it'd be interesting to see what else comes out from these lawsuits, guys. We'll stay with it right there, but we got a fun one coming up here next, guys. We have we're gonna do all of the college football. There's a lot of firings, a lot of openings now, but we got to rank the corniest head coaches in college football, because there's some real cornballs over there. We'll talk about that next on The Big Factor. Hey, everybody, welcome back into The Big Factor. Pat McGuire, Jack O'Rourke, Rob Watson, Nick Padone. Guys, there's been a lot of movement in the college football ranks with coaching openings, coaching firings, and all that type of stuff. So I figure what better time right now than to rank the corniest head football coaches in college football. Because there's definitely some real there's some guys who love the sound of their own voice and that type of stuff in the college football game. Guys, I think we'll do a 2-round pick, and I think, Nick, as long as it's cool with you, we gave Rob the number 1 overall pick, and I think we'll have you go second.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, Rob,
So,
what do you got for number 1 overall?
Under much debate, like this, I was really down to 2 guys, and because of my friend over here, I hope he gets to draft him because he really hates this guy. If there was a scumbag draft, I know he would be my one, but I'm going to pass up on him today.
Wow.
With the first pick, I'm taking Dabo Swinney.
it,
for the most corny coach
Yeah.
in college football.
See, Jack and I were talking about it before the show. That is a clear one to me. That's a clear number one. Rob said in the break that it was actually a little bit of a debate for you. Interesting. We'll see if he goes back.
I dislike Kelly so much, but he's not as corny as Dabo Swinney.
There is
like he's just. Go ahead.
There are a few individual lines cornier than when NIL first came out, and they asked Dabo about NIL. He's like, "Oh, that's no problem. My program's always been NIL, the name, image, and likeness of God."
Honestly, go off if you're religious like that, but that is one of the corniest lines I've ever heard. Nick, you got the number one overall off the board, but you got the number two pick. I think there might be a decent one out there for you.
I hate to do this to Jack.
Oh no.
I do. But like if he doesn't go at 2 and we put this graphic out, I'm gonna get absolutely lambasted for it. So give me Brian Kelly. I'll do it.
There he is.
Between like and like we'll leave the scumbag stuff out of this for now. But like the video of him doing the dance with the kid that didn't even commit, the fake Southern accent, like there are so many things. Like it is a debate, him versus Dabo for sure.
Forrest Gump.
I'll take Brian Kelly off the board for you here, Jack.
Yeah, Jack, Brian Kelly off the board. You got next. You got the third pick right here. Who are you going with?
Yeah, I'm actually going to go to the Fired Football Coaches Association. This guy is not in a job right now, has not been all year. I believe he's actually anchoring the desk over at the ACC network. I'm going to go with Mr. Buyout himself, Jimbo Fisher. Nothing as a child would make me more upset than a Jimbo Fisher press conference. You can take that one to the bank. I mean, this sounds like hearsay now, but as a child, after they beat Notre Dame in one of the biggest games, I didn't like Jameis Winston. I didn't like Jimbo Fisher. Like I was so against that Florida State team. I didn't like when Jimbo put on the big cowboy hat, went down to Texas A&M and got ousted.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one too, because like when there's a team that beats your team when you're a child and you just can never forgive them, for me, that'll go right into my pick. It was the Urban Meyer Florida Gators. I think Urban Meyer right now is still, even on the big noon desk, still one of the corniest people. You want to talk about people who are scumbags as well, honestly, too. But Urban Meyer is up there for me. That one's kind of an easy pick. I don't know if you guys would have picked him or not, but honestly, so that will end
national champion.
He's a
7-0 against Michigan. I mean, geez, Pat.
Yeah, no, I understand all the success that he had for the Buckeyes, but a lot of other things going on too there with that guy. Let's put it that way. But I think we move to another one for me. You take the flip side of that coin, and it's Sharon Moore. Because
I hate you. I thought he was gonna be here.
I taken Sharon Moore.
He was never getting back to you.
He was never getting back to you because Sharon Moore, the way that he cried when Jim Harbaugh was
that was one of the most loser things that have ever in the history of loser moments on this whole entire planet. Sharon Moore won one.
Yeah, Sharon Moore won one.
And then the blue collar jacket.
I thought I was cooking.
He's at a hotel.
I thought I was cooking. I thought I was gonna get Dabo and Sharon and just win it, bro.
Dude, that's the thing too, is because when they JJ McCarthy's in this as well too, because like when they held up the 4s for Harbaugh when they did that formation at the beginning of the game when he was suspended and everything like that, it's just so funny because there's so many people like that in the Michigan world. And honestly, too, I had to put Urban Meyer before him because I got to cover myself a little bit with how corny Michigan is as a football program. I just can't stand watching anything about them. Sharon Moore is an easy pick for me.
Yeah, I'm really excited that this pick somehow fell to me. I probably should have gone to him last round. I will be returned, or actually, no, he's not a fired football coach. He's in the NFL now. Not going too far away down Ann Arbor. Give me Jim Harbaugh. I think the khakis, the wearing the wide receiver gloves on the sidelines, I hate that. Really the sleepovers with the recruits, I mean, that should just be illegal. Like, you should go to jail for that.
It's a violation,
IMO. And like, even like and I feel so sacrilegious doing this, but maybe I just don't like it. They bring their face like I'm like Moses. I'll die leaning on my staff. Like, just like Jim Harbaugh is one of the corniest human beings to ever walk the planet.
God, man. So we go all the way back, Nick. I think you've got the second to last pick here in the second round. Who are you going with?
I'll just pick the low-hanging fruit, especially since we're, allowed to / really leaning into the fired coaches. I'll just take James Franklin off the board.
That's a good one.
There's not much of an
future Auburn Tiger.
Future Auburn Tiger. Yeah, Hugh Freeze just got fired, I believe, from Auburn as well.
He did.
He is up for that.
He's like Kevin. He's an offensive guru who couldn't get to 15 points.
Yeah, that's what they tell me. Drew Aller as well. But Rob, rounding it out, last pick of the draft.
Let me talk to you guys here. I was between 3 people.
Okay.
I'll tell you you the two who I'm not going to go with. In his retirement, he was one of the most respected coaches while he was coaching. But as NIL came in, he really, like, to me, he lost a lot of respect. I was thinking about Nick Saban. He has said some very, very, very corny stuff in his retirement. Now, this guy, he's also unlike coach. I was thinking Lane Kiffin as well, but his resurgence this year, I'm starting to kind of like the shtick that Lane Kiffin has had going on.
If you can win, you can get away with shtick. So for sure.
Going off of that, for my last pick, I'm going with Lincoln Riley.
Oh, wow.
There hasn't been a more overhyped guy that hasn't been getting results. And
Put it in it. Hook it into me.
Give me Lincoln Riley. I'll round it out with that because another guy that just kind of makes my skin crawl a little bit, just thinking he's better.
Lincoln Riley is the smartest guy in every room he's in until he's not.
He's like a college Kevin Stefanski in my opinion.
No, he is. Yeah, that's a great
It's
comp.
really nasty.
Honestly, Rob, I'm surprised you didn't go.
You guys?
HM for me, honorable mention is easily Dan Lanning. I don't know if you saw that video of him jumping in the pool with the recruits and everything like that.
He's over the top.
Yeah, he's over the top too. He said something that was kind of cooked in that Colorado game where he was like, "They're doing it for clicks and we're doing it for wins or whatever."
He's up there, but he keeps winning, so I'm gonna keep letting.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Guys, I fear that if we do this a year from now, Coach Prime could be in this conversation.
I think so too, man.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
It's getting there. I fear.
I was really close to putting Les Miles in my list, the Mad Hatter. I think he's got some issues. Another one though. Here's where I thought you were about to go, Nick, when you said maybe this time next year. This team's done a lot of winning, so it's really hard to refute what he's done. I even like some of his quotes, but there is a world where things go south over in Bloomington. Coach Cignetti's voice can run out real fast, and those clips will go from hard to corny real quick, because I win Google Me is great when you win, but the second that you can throw that back at him, or Will Howard stomped it out on him last year, like you get those moments.
I think the same thing goes for Kirby Smart. Like
he was an honorable
already he is with the hard to kill stuff just because his team stinks and they're somehow number 5.
Georgia's not looking like Georgia anymore.
Yeah,
it's looking weird.
Because that's a defense-based mentality and team and culture, and their defense is gone.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in the college football playoff. Like, he has the opportunity to bounce back from some of this, but the whole Alabama being his kryptonite thing, like, I know that fries people down there the same way the whole team up north thing gets to people up here.
He's also Steve Spurrier is the visor guy. You don't take the visor from Steve Spurrier. I think that's just that's character assassination.
It's crazy how volatile it is, because if Ohio State doesn't win the ring last year, Ryan Day is probably going somewhere in this draft.
He's going 1-1 for saying I'm going to hang 100 on them and losing 4 years in a row, not scoring 100 points.
It's how crazy it could change.
Yeah, guys, this could be its own episode in itself, honestly, but we got to take one more break here on The Big Factor. We'll be right back. Okay. Hey, welcome back into The Big Factor, guys. It is time for our FanDuel parlay of the day. Jack, take it away.
All right, let's do it. Oh, wait, no, we got to get that read in first from Nick, right?
Get the read in.
Nick, hit us up real quick.
My bad.
You threw it. That was like a false start. I was ready for the snap.
I'm just as excited to hear Jack reveal this parlay. I only know, since I'm at home, I only know my leg today, so I'm excited to see what you boys cooked up. It's NBA tip-off week. FanDuel's your home for live betting. So even if you missed the start of the game or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you could even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. However you want to play, now is the perfect time to join our friends at FanDuel, because they're giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So just visit FanDuel.com/Big Big Play. Again, FanDuel.com/BigPlay to sign up today. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Must be 21 plus, present in select states. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit is required. Bonuses are issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions do apply. You can see full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, Jack, now you're ready.
All right, let's
take it
do
away for us, kid.
Guys, you have to strike the iron while it's hot. If you didn't know, last night the Big Factor hit their first college basketball parlay of the year.
Come on now.
We are 1 for 1 on the NCAA men's basketball. So hey, we're gonna keep it going with, I believe, mostly basketball and one football pick for today. We had to throw in some action, but hey, we're starting out UMass. Besides Kent State, is the worst team in the country every single year. The Minutemen are not going to be able to hang with the Zips.
Baby.
Akron minus 9.5 tonight at home over in some action in college football. And hey, guys, usually it's September, but this year, hey, we got Gasparilla in November. We're going Buccos money line. We're taking the East Carolina Pirates to start out their season at home against Georgia Southern. ECU!
Let's go.
ECU! And then, hey, guys, Texas is playing Duke. We're throwing the horns down. Duke, one of the best teams in the country.
Easy
we are going with the
cash.
Blue Devils money line and Coach John minus 550. And then last but not least, we are calling for an SFing happening. Evansville heading into Purdue.
The Purple
We're going
Aces
into West
got it.
Lafayette. Who are they?
The Purple Aces.
The
in
Purple
The
Aces.
Purple Aces are headed into the Boilermakers barn. They're not winning anything. 31.5. Go Purdue. Purdue spread. ECU money line. Akron spread. What's the Duke money line? Put it in. 1-0. We are so back.
Look at how red his face is, my God, guys. What an episode here on The Big Factor, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next time.